big piece of the pie. What you got was a lot of nothing and a 30-year loan. Work sucks, you look up what happened to that great idea you used to have. It's like a full-time occupation when you're feeling bad. If this were the last day of your life, would it be the best day of your life? You got 24 hours to get it right. Lunch hour, you eat alone. There's no one calling on your new iPhone, but you got the greatest hits and the latest fads. Can't wait for the bell to ring. It's always everybody's favorite thing, but you got nowhere to go and you won't be getting there fast. Cause traffic sucks, you look up what happened to all that time you used to have. You got another 57 minutes sit there feeling bad. If this were the last day of your life, would it be the best day of your life? You got 24 hours to get it right. Ooh, get it right. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray to God that you don't weep over lost love, lost time, and dreams deferred. You gotta get yourself a new idea, a good love, a true career. Gotta put your mind on something that makes you feel good. If this were the last day of your life, you gotta make it the best day of your life. Let's say it's the last day of your life. You gotta make it the best day of your life. You got 24 hours to get it right. To get it right. Yeah, get it right. Get it right. Get it right. Get it. Get it. Get it right. Get it right. Tired down to fly away. Tightly now, tired down before she sees there's no good reason to stay. Spread her wings out on the floor. Quickly now, tired down before she sees the world is so much more than what you gave her. You're so afraid of letting go, let go, let go. You never can be sure of anything. I recall not long ago waking up and looking up into the bright blue day and sunshine. You'll never be quite what you were or what you want, just because your dreams were never right for daylight. All that you sought here has disappeared into the great blue light of day. Although you tried, my dear one, I know you you try to touch the sun, you've learned in time that on waxing wings, you never can be sure of anything. I pull together what I need, and what I've got, well, it may not be a lot, but I've found eternal life in paraffin. All is illusion. That's one conclusion. I have reached too far to fall, too full to fail. I might as well go on and try. Now I'll have won. When I've tried to touch the sun, you learn in time that on waxing wings, you never can be sure of anything. If this is all I've taught you, don't be afraid of letting go. Let go, let go. You never can be sure of anything. Let go. My mom works in an all-night diner. The way she tells it, my daddy was a race car driver. Yes, he was too fast. Maybe some good things are too good to last. My big sister done gone and joined the Navy. They say she's crazy, but I'm thinking that maybe she might even see the world. Gotta go through some oysters if you're looking for pearls. And hold on to your dreams. I guess I'll see where it takes me. I hold on, I won't let go. Might be a long shot, but you never know. If no one's told you you are golden, you'll come to know it if you just hold on. I tear it up on the track just like a regular junior. I just sit back and relax, and pretty soon you're wondering how come I'm not already there, although I've already won. I hold on to my dreams. I guess I'll see where it takes me. I hold on, I won't let go. It might just hold on. If no one's told you, you're still golden. You'll come to know it if you just hold on.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation at Montclair. My name continues to be Marcus Greyhawk. My pronouns are he, him, and his, and I serve as the Director of Music Ministries for our congregation. It's good to have you with us once again. If you are watching this service live on YouTube or Facebook on Sunday morning, we invite you to share your name and your location in the comment section. And let us begin, as we do each week, by singing. Our gathering hymns are We'll Build a Land and Though I May Speak with Bravest Fire. They will be led today by our member, Jill Beckman Gaines.
whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever age, identity, history, ability, gender, or sexual orientation, you are welcome to bring your full self here. Grounded in faith, we come together to nurture the soul, inspire hope, and bring into being a more just and loving world. I am intern Ali Bell Delgado. My pronouns are Z, zer, zers, or they, them, theirs. You've gotten to know me as intern Antonia, and I have experienced many wonderful moments of growth with our congregation. This name change is one more facet of my growth. And not only do I have a new name, I'm starting hormone therapy. In the next few months, you may notice changes in my voice and possibly in my appearance. I'm so happy that I'm starting this next part of my journey with you. I look forward to sharing my naming ceremony with you in the near future. Today's service is titled Rededicating the Temple of Liberty. We rise today after the desecration of the temple of our nation's liberty, the People's House, the Capitol building. We rise as a people exhausted and yet still convicted by the call to a more just nation, a just union that will overthrow the threat of demagoguery. The title of this service has resonance in the stories of the ancient past. The Hebrew scriptures tell of a time in 70 BCE when the Hebrew temple was desecrated by a power-hungry ruler who wished to claim even that sacred space for himself. This wrong, known to history as the desecrating sacrilege, speaks to us on this morning of an incredible evil that has been committed and the incredible work left for us to do. For we are called today and the days that follow to rededicate our temple so that it may be cleansed of this wrong and prepared to stand again for the cause of democracy, liberty, and the hope of a nation long battling its own stains and scars. It is good to be together for this work and for the comfort of one another. If you are joining us at 10 a.m., please continue with us for our virtual connection cafe beginning at 11 a.m. Check your email and realm announcements for the Zoom link. And now, a moment from our Board of Trustees.
Hi, my name is Shannon Gattens, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. I currently serve as the secretary of the board. As part of its covenant in the beginning of the year, the board committed to working towards anti-racism and decentering whiteness. There are many activities taking place at the U and many groups participating in this work, including the Undoing Racism Committee, Allies for Racial Equity, or ARE, Black Lives UU, or Blue, the DRUM group, which is Diverse Revolution of UU Multicultural Ministry, and the 8th Principal Committee. Educational sessions such as Slavery by Another Name, Sisters in the Wilderness, and Widening the Circle of Concern have been offered, and many members of the congregation and board have been participating in the UUA curriculum called Beloved Conversations, which address issues of racial justice and white supremacy. In addition, the UUCM has integrated the anti-racism and decentering whiteness work in the RE program, the NLDC, music ministry, covenant groups, and the ministry. Beyond our congregation, the ministers also collaborate with a group called Beyond Policing, which addresses issues in our neighboring community. The board aspires to help coordinate all of these efforts and resources to benefit our common goal of racial justice and decentering whiteness. We look forward to working with all of you who are interested. Thanks so much.
It is time to light our chalice, a beacon to guide us through these times together. Perhaps you have a chalice or a candle at home, really anything that you can illumine. Let's light our collective chalices as we share our chalice lighting affirmation. Let us open our senses to take in the beauty. Let us open our minds to learn what is true. Let us open our hearts to love one another. Our invocation comes from the writing of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. He writes, "As labor is the common burden of our human race, so the effort of some to shift their share of the burden onto the shoulders of others is our great durable curse. As I would not be a slave, so I would not be a master." This expresses my idea of democracy. Whatever differs from this, to the extent of the difference, is no democracy. Our reliance is in our love for liberty. Our defense is in the spirit which prizes liberty as the heritage of all people and all lands everywhere. Destroy the spirit, and we have planted the seeds of despotism at our own doors. Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves and cannot long retain it. He states, those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves and cannot long retain it. Why should there not be a patient confidence in the ultimate justice of the people? Is there any better or equal hope in the world? Let us have faith that right makes might, and in faith let us to the end dare to our duty as we understand it. Called now by this invocation into worship, we turn to seek a soft meditation, a deep reflection, an ardent prayer, each as we are called, yet all together. And we enter into this space by hearing the lamentations, the requests, and the remembrances of our community. Let us hear one another to heal one another. We light this candle for Dawn Coleman, her father West, and his partner Liz. Each have been diagnosed with COVID-19. May healing come. Judy Ray Nearson and Nick Lewis light this candle of concern and love for their nephew, Greg Crowder, who has been living in a group home for disabled adults and has just tested positive for COVID. Please keep Greg and his mom, Linda, who is Judy's sister, in your thoughts and prayers. Catherine Council lights a candle of remembrance for her Aunt Maxine, who passed away on January 3rd, 2021, at age 100. She was blessed with a large extended family and good humor throughout her long life. We will always remember her kindness and loving spirit. We light this candle for Marsha Mandel to hold her in the light of health and healing. We light this candle for U.S. Capitol Police Officer Brian D. Sicknick and his family. Officer Sicknick succumbed to his injuries sustained in the defense of our Capitol. We light this candle for the 4 people who died while engaging in a terrorist act on our national capital. We raise up these losses not to honor the participation of the terrorists in an insurrection, but to recognize their humanity and terrible wages of hate. We light this candle for the family of Tamir Rice, who were just dealt another blow in their case to see their son's life honored, as the feds denied their plea to hold the police that shot their son accountable. And we light this candle so it may call us to vigilance, knowing the discrepancy between the racist ways the police treat Black and brown citizens and the supremacist ways that they treat white citizens. We know our prayers are not enough to right this wrong, so with this candle, We request that we who are able pledge our lives to uprooting white supremacy. We light this candle for Stacey Abrams, who kept fighting to register voters in the state of Georgia. Her good work was crucial in the presidential election in November and now again in the Senate runoff elections. Aware of the profound sorrow, rage, and pain present among us today, we light this final candle for all that has not been spoken aloud. In the silence that follows, you are encouraged to speak the names of those you are holding in your prayers and meditations, or to write them into the chat. May we hold this silence as the silence holds us. May our listening bring forth acts of love.
Our prayer today includes words from Lisa Friedman. So you, lovers of truth, peace, freedom, and justice, will you pray with us?
Spirit of life and love, we live in a fragmented world that tempts us to despair. We would put it back together piece by piece if it were ours to choose. But sometimes the fragments are enough. In a world of cruelty, there is still power in every act of kindness. In a time of doubt, there is still power in every act of hope. In an age of division, there is still power in every act of unity. May we remember that sometimes the fragments of meaning we make are just the right size to hold in our hands.
So, beloveds, find what fragments under which you can maintain a firm grasp, and bring those fragments to our common altar of service as we rebuild our world to more closely resemble the world we know can and should be. Fill your heart with whatever love you can, and that love will lead us toward healing. Remember, the word courage comes from the same word as the word heart. Courage is an embodied form of love. So may we all find the truth which inspires us to love and a courage to live with honor and bravery in these difficult days. In the name of all each of us deems holy within, we pray.
Amen.
There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm going
There is more love somewhere. There is. When you give to our offering, 80% of your gift will care for the Unitarian Universalist congregation at Montclair, and 20% will support our justice recipient. Our January Sharing Our Riches recipient is RIP Medical Debt of Essex County, a campaign developed by the Montclair Interfaith Clergy Association. Together, we have the opportunity to eliminate the medical debt of hundreds of families and individuals in Essex County. We will be helping families who earn less than 2 times the federal poverty level, have debts that are 5% or more of their annual income, and those whose debts are greater than their assets. Through this campaign, every dollar that we give will abolish $100 of medical debt. You can text to give, mail us a check, or go to our homepage and click on the donate button. This is a time of need. All of your gifts are worthy, and they are all received with love. Our reading today is a portion of the poem On the Pulse of Morning by Maya Angelou, recited by the poet at the inauguration of President Bill Clinton on January 20th, 1993. We have chosen to share the sections of this long poem that may speak to this moment in our political turmoil in our American lives. Here is Maya Angelou. A rock, a river, a tree, host to species long since departed, marked the mastodon, the dinosaur who left dried tokens of their sojourn here on our planet floor. Any broad alarm of their hastening doom is lost in the gloom of dust and ages. But today the rock cries out to us, clearly, forcefully, "Come, you may stand upon my back and face your distant destiny, but seek no haven in my shadow. I will give you no hiding place down there. You, created only a little lower than the angels, have crouched too long in the bruising darkness, have lain too long face down in ignorance, your mouths spilling words armed for slaughter. The rock cries out to us today, you may stand upon me, but do not hide your face. Lift up your eyes upon this day breaking for you. Give birth again to the dream. Take it in the palms of your hands. Mold it into the shape of your most private need. Sculpt it into the image of your most public self. Lift up your hearts. Each new hour holds new chances for a new beginning. Do not be wedded forever to fear, yoked eternally to brutishness. The horizon leans forward, offering you space to place new steps of change. Here, on the pulse of this fine day, you may have the courage to look up and out and upon me, the rock, the river, the tree, your country.
A cleansing rage wipes away my fear. A cleansing rage uproots all hesitation. A cleansing rage burns deep in my soul. May this rage make us one, make us whole. A sacred rage calls out falsehood and greed. A sacred rage fuels the fires of justice. A sacred rage burns deep in my soul. May this rage make us one, make us whole. A tearful rage lets its truth be known. A tearful rage believes what is spoken. A tearful rage burns deep in my soul. May these tears make us one, make us whole. A loving rage restores our hope. A loving rage strengthens bonds of resilience. A loving rage burns deep in my soul. May this love make us one, make us whole. May this love make us one, make us whole. May this love make us one, make us whole.
Lift up your eyes, says Maya Angelou. On an inauguration past, lift up your eyes, a day is breaking for you. We lifted up our eyes. We did on Wednesday, 14 days before the coming inauguration, to see not a day breaking for us, but our brokenness. Right there, right before our eyes. And our eyes were flooded not with right, not with light, but with the stain of our American sin. It's a shame that the words democracy and demagoguery are so close in sound and letter, because the difference between the two is the cost of our national soul. I was in shock, perhaps you were too, my heart beating viscerally in my chest, my mind a cloud of images and prayers. I was in shock, but I was not surprised. Not surprised that white supremacy found a home in our nation's capital. Not surprised, because white supremacy has always had a home in our nation's capital. It usually cloaks itself in the disguise of law and order, family values, opposition to the welfare state, Christian exceptionalist complaint, and occasionally, though it might be troubling for us to admit this, in the disguise of progress. White supremacy lurks in the spaces between all the pretty words. But on Wednesday, its position was revealed. White supremacy, was welcomed in to ravage right there. No mask, no cloak, no cover. No matter how imperfect our nation, no matter how flawed our rule, No matter how soaked our history in the stain of white supremacist fuel, we can still recognize our capital as the hallowed hall, the space where sparks of liberty and justice have been and may still be fanned, a place of possibility at the least. And we watched, right there, on the TV, as one of the domestic terrorists who entered this hallowed hall worked to pry an American flag from the place where it was fashioned to steal the space for a demagogue, to replace the symbol of our nation that at its best stands for us all, to replace the symbol with a man's name, an idol, a symbol of our fall. If you were raised on the biblical tales, both from the Hebrew and Christian canons, you might recognize this desolation, this sacrilege. It happened at least once before. It is the seed of the story told on Hanukkah. In the year 70 BCE, Antiochus IV, the king of the Greek Seleucid dynasty, ruled Palestine. The Hebrew people, a small tribe within this territory, were an occupied people, a beholden people to this Seleucid rule. Powerless to overthrow the empire, they suffered nearly all the subjugation until that is, their temple, their holiest site, was desolated from within. It is understood by the reading by the texts of Daniel and Thessalonians and from Matthew and Mark that Antiochus ordered a statue of his gods to be placed within the temple walls, that he forced within that holy space a testament to a foreign and ignoble rule, and that, as some sources say, it carried the face or the name of he, Antiochus, the king, the demagogue. There it was placed in the holiest of holies, the space for the Hebrew people of offering and sacrifice, the place of possibility, their citadel of liberty. It was placed there, an abomination, a contemptuous deformation of the sacred and hallowed potential of that hall. We are told that this it called the Hebrew people to rise and defend their right to worship and to live as their God ordained. And we are told that their fervor was enough to overcome their overlord, which was not only Antiochus, not only the demagogue, but their long acceptance of his rule. Wait, this is important. You see, when it was revealed, there with its blunt and brutal force, when the statue of a foreign occupier was placed there in the hallowed hall, they finally saw how deeply the terror had already crept in, how it had infiltrated, how it had stolen, how it had won. Good God, how it had won. That's what we saw on our nation's capital. Don't get me wrong, it was there all along. But what we saw in its naked and disgusting truth is that white supremacy had won. Just imagine if the protest had been for Black Lives Matter, 2,000 would have died. May we be as brave as the Hebrews, as the Maccabees, who, knowing their temple had been breached, gave all for its hallowed liberty. As the ancient scriptures say, when you see the abomination of desolation standing where it should not be, let the reader understand. Do not look away. This desolating sacrilege must be cleansed.
When Maya Angelou sings, we, created only a little lower than the angels, have crouched too long in the bruising darkness, have lain too long face down in ignorance. I am reminded I have confronted a willful ignorance inciting cruelty for much of my life. I grew up in Maryland, just 14 miles south of the Mason-Dixon line. And the evil around me often demanded that I declare, whose side are you on, kid? As a privileged child of just 10 years old, when I refused to wear the stars and bars of the traitorous Confederacy, I had to defend myself often with my fists or with my feet if I was outnumbered. And even so, those trials pale in comparison to those endured by people who are not white, male, straight, or able-bodied as I am. I know violent traitors like those who assaulted our democracy have no honor. I also know the time to speak plainly has come. On January 6, 2021, evil marched to our Capitol, wearing red hats of shame, waving idolatrous flags as the broken glass they shattered reminded us once again that fascism is very much alive in these United States. We saw the infamy of our nation's foundational white supremacy on broad display as Capitol Police willingly stepped aside, removed barricades, took selfies with angry white nationalists hell-bent on demeaning all that our nation has tried, even if it's often failed, to hold dear. Beloveds, you know if this would have been Black Lives Matter, they would have gotten nowhere near those Capitol steps. You know how swiftly the batons and the bullets would have started to fly. The need to immediately dismantle white supremacy by every means necessary has not been made so clear since the assault on freedom marchers in Selma, Alabama in 1965. This treason came on the deadliest day in American history. Almost 4,000 people died of COVID on January 6th, more dead than on 9/11 or any single day of U.S. combat. This treason came the same day climate scientists revealed that 2020 was the hottest year on record. And COVID, climate change, and racism were all made worse over the last 4 years by the same villains who incited terrorists to storm our Capitol. Let us never forget, but how could we? Growing up so close to Washington, I love DC. The parks, the monuments, the museums. I get teary-eyed whenever I regard the Capitol building. And so seeing our Capitol attacked, all goodness attacked, I felt an urge to rush to her defense and offer its defilers no quarter. So let us speak plainly. What we witnessed Wednesday was evil. Evil courted from out of the shadows to goose-step through our streets. Evil fueled by hatred. Evil falsely believing it is a victim. Evil that planted that desolating sacrilege, the flag of a demagogue, on our Capitol. Evil that objected to our constitutional processes, knowing all the while those objections were based on bold-faced lies. Evil aimed at America's heart by the craven occupier of the Oval Office. What we can do now, what we can do to cleanse our citadel of liberty so it can be rededicated to its sacred purpose, is to tell the truth plainly. The truth about the free and fair 2020 election. The truth that white supremacy must be resisted by force when necessary, everywhere and always. The truth that intersecting horrors like homophobia and wage theft must also perish. The truth that those who supported such infamy must be sanctioned. The truth that white supremacy is a pandemic infecting far too many in law enforcement. The truth that, in accord with the 13th and 14th Amendments to the Constitution, white supremacy disqualifies one from public office, public trust, and public employment. The truth that our nation's sins must be taught, and when denied, the deniers silenced. The truth that there is some speech that, yes, must be limited. Speech inciting riots, but also speech desecrating entire classes of human beings must be disallowed. If liberty, if equal protection under the law mean anything, then that which seeks to defile liberty must be prohibited, including speech promoting such evil. It is time to speak these deep truths plainly for all to hear and obey. So roll up your sleeves. The time is now. Amen. Our congregation has a role in this justice making. The Reverend John Haynes Holmes, co-founder of the NAACP and minister of Community Church Unitarian in New York from 1907 until 1947, proclaimed the purpose of a congregation in turbulent times.
He said, "The work of the congregation is the work of social redemption. Here is the world with its hungry to be fed, its naked to be clothed, its imprisoned to be emancipated. The world with its misery to be banished, its injustice to be cured, its sorrow to be turned into joy. In response, the work of the congregation is the building of the kingdom of the holy on earth, which is the beloved community."
So, leading into our reflection question, let me remind us that Abraham Lincoln once taught us,
Let us have faith that right makes might, and in that faith let us to the end dare to do our duty as we understand it.
will you reflect with us? What comes after this desecration? How do we rededicate our temple of liberty?
Please join us now in singing. Let's keep on moving forward, never turning back.
Gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna keep on moving proudly. Keep on moving proudly. Keep on moving proudly. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna keep on singing loudly. Keep on singing loudly. Keep on singing loudly. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward.
We rededicate our temple of liberty by telling the truth and by demanding that truth be told in our media, online, and especially from the mouths of leaders who are sworn to uphold our Constitution.
For too long, we have suffered the bruising darkness of white supremacy and indifference to public and social evil, but no more.
Those who have lain too long face down in ignorance must be lifted out of the mire they willingly sought and forced to face the light of truth.
And if not, they must be sanctioned and kept from any leadership in our public life.
So, let us build the beloved community together with faith and courage and hope and love and a steely resolve to stay focused on the task of justice making.
We are so fortunate to be in this work with courageous, truth-telling patriots like you, the people of UU Montclair.
Bless you. Bless you for your witness and your courage.
Our worship has ended. Let our service begin. Go in peace. Go in joy. Go in love.
Join us right after this for Connection Cafe and register your children for our innovative religious education programs. Until we meet again, virtually or otherwise, you are in our hearts.
Wake up in a dangerous fall, drink some coffee, or walk the dog in an Isaac mask. Good dreams never last days. Watch the Weather Channel, eat an egg, put your pants on one leg at a time, like everybody never wanna hear nobody say. Love sucks, you messed up, that girl was the best thing you ever had. You got the rest of your life to feel bad. Walk in, look around, it's all quiet, except the sound of a couple hundred drones on the telephone. All you wanted was some peace of mind, and a great big piece of the pie. What you got was a lot of nothing and a 30-year loan. Work sucks, you look up, what happened to that great idea you used to have? It's like a full-time occupation when you're feeling bad. If this were the last day of your life, would it be the best day of your life? You got 24 hours to get it right. Lunch hour, you eat alone. There's no one calling on your new iPhone, but you got the greatest hits and the latest fads. Can't wait for the bell to ring. That's always everybody's favorite thing, but you got nowhere to go and you won't be getting there fast. Cause traffic sucks, you look up, what happened to all that time you used to have? You got another 57 minutes, sit there feeling bad. If this were the last day of your life, would it be the best day of your life? yourself a new idea, a good love, a true career. Gotta put your mind on something that makes you feel good. If this were the last day of your life, you gotta make it the best day of your life. Let's say it's the last day of your life. You gotta make it the best day of your life. You got 24 hours to get it right. Get it right. Yeah, get it right. Get it right. Get it right. Get it. Get it. Get it right. Get it right. Get it right. Tired down to fly away. Tightly now. Tired down before she sees there's no good reason to stay. Spread her wings out on the floor. Quickly now. Tired down before she sees the world is so much more than what you gave her. You're so afraid of letting go, let go, let go. You never can be sure of anything. I recall not long ago waking up and looking up into the bright blue day and sunshine. You'll never be quite what you were or what you want, just because your dreams were never right for daylight. All that you sought here has disappeared into the great blue light of day. Although you tried, my dear one, I know you tried to touch the sun. You've learned in time that Yes, he was too fast. Maybe some good things are too good to last. My big sister done gone and joined the Navy. They say she's crazy, but I'm thinking that maybe she might even see the world. Gotta go through some oysters if you're looking for pearls. And hold on to your dreams. I guess I'll see where it takes me. I hold on, I won't let go. Might be a long shot, but you never know. If no one's told you you are golden, you'll come to know it if you just hold on. I tear it up on the track just like a regular junior. I just sit back and relax, and pretty soon you're wondering how come I'm not already there, although I've already won. I hold on to my dreams. I guess I'll see where it takes me. I hold on, I won't let go. It might be a long shot, but you never know. If no one's told you you're still golden, you'll come to know it if you just hold on. I'm the girl in a souped-up hybrid. If you're wondering when I'll pass you, well, I already did. You'll never catch me